Hey guys, my name is Marina and this is a monthly forecast for Sagittarius for the period between the 20th of March and the 19th of April. And basically this is the period when we have the transit sun in Aries. So that's why we are focusing on that period, and let's find out what it can bring to you. So the sun in Aries actually falls in your fifth house, and that's a very beneficial position. That's a really, favorable and positive house of the horoscope. Fifth house is one of the most positive houses. It is related with entertainment, related with actually only positive things, everything that brings joy to your life, like your children, like your hobbies, everything related with romantic love, everything related with art and creativity. So the transit sun in your fifth house actually is the time of the year when you can really focus and experience joy from these areas of your life. This is a great time to spend more time on your practicing your hobbies, or doing the things that brings you joy. It's a great time to focus on romantic relationships. Some people may fall in love, or you can generally feel like life is good. Life is something that you can experience, and it brings you a lot of personal satisfaction and fulfillment. And with the sun in Aries, actually there is a lot of active energy. Besides that, we have also a new moon which will be in Aries. We have the transit Mercury, the retrograde Venus and Uranus in Aries as well, which means that there is a very intense energy in this area of your life. And I don't expect that there is a chance that something important may not happen to you. I'm pretty sure that all of you are going to go through some intense changes in this area of your life, and probably this will be something that you will initiate, because Aries as a sign is related with our personal actions and the things that we start, we take the steps in order to achieve them, to receive the benefits. So that's a great time to be active, to take some steps, to even to take some risks in order to fulfill your desires, what you really want to do and what makes you feel satisfied. So as I said, on the 27th we have a new moon in Aries as well, and that will bring even more energy to this area of your life. You can start some new projects, or they can be restarted in some way, because we have the transit Venus retrograde in Aries during the same period, which suggests that it's possible that some things can be restarted. You can put your energy in certain project, but it's possible that in some way this project can be related with your past, or you have started before that. For some reason you might have postponed it or cancel it even. Now things can be restarted. And especially for romantic relationships, for those of you who have been flirting with someone, but still not on the level where you're having a serious committed relationship with responsibilities. If that's your case, then now with the new moon in Aries in fifth house, with the retrograde Venus in Aries in your fifth house, it's really possible that this romantic communication can be restarted. You can fall in love again. For people, something interesting, for some of you who have lost your inspiration, or your emotional feelings towards your partner, now the situation can be restarted. You can think about the past, what this person have brought in your life, and you can reconsider your attitude. So for some of us, this can be like a time when we can definitely take some important decisions in the relationship area, in everything which includes love and romances, and in some way we can set free from the past. So That's a great month for you to focus on romantic relationships, to focus especially analyzing the past, what has happened, what can be changed. And yeah, great time to spend time on the things that you like actually. After that, on the 31st, we have the transit Mercury going to Taurus and in your 6th house. Mercury in 6th house is actually a very positive transit because Mercury is the traditional ruler of 6th house. So there is a harmony between the energy of the planet and the house, which means that you can benefit more from that. And that's a great time to pay attention on the small details in your work. To organize your work, to try to even to have some to receive new information that can, you know, put some things on places, to organize your daily schedule and to be more practical, because Taurus is a very practical sign. It requires from you to be more grounded regarding your decisions, and in this case, in your case actually, it's mostly related with your work. So all of the decisions that you may take during this transit of Mercury in 6th house should be really practically oriented. You know, if you should think about if the things you're starting will bring financial results and success, because that's the right way to use Mercury in Taurus. And generally, this is also a transit, very good transit for some kind of business trips, for negotiations, even for signing contracts, some kind of business contracts. After that, on the 3rd of April, we have the retrograde Venus going back to Pisces, which for you will be in your 4th house. So the focus, as we said, until now the retrograde Venus is in 5th house, but now it moves to your 4th house, so the focus is changed. It's a positive time to think more about your family members. At the same time, it's possible that the atmosphere may not be so harmonious, because Venus is the planet of harmony, the planet of balance, and when it is retrograde, there might be challenges in all of these, you know, areas. So there might be, you know, like a misbalance in your communication with your family members, or in some way you might be over emotional regarding, you know, what's happening with your family members or how they are treating you. And you should be avoiding taking some, you know, like important decisions related with changing your home, especially buying property is not beneficial while you have retrograde Venus in 4th house. But if you have previously lived somewhere, you may think about, well, why don't I move back there? And that can be a positive decision. Going back to, you know, to something in your past related with this area is actually a positive way to use the transit of Venus. And making some kind of changes, for example, you can redecorate your home, you can change some kind of furniture or repair something which is no longer, you know, you doesn't make you feel comfortable, or you think that it's not beautiful. All of these changes actually can be positive during Venus retrograde in your 4th house. And the last thing that I want to tell about this transit is that also you can decide to reconnect with your family members. For example, if there was, you know, your communication has been interrupted for some reason, if there was a conflict, now is the time actually to connect with your family members, to try to find solutions for your problems coming and related with the past. So you may just think about this option. After that, on the 5th of April, we have the transit Saturn going retrograde in Sagittarius, so actually in your own sign, which means that this transit is important for you. And we know that Saturn is related with responsibilities, with taking care of lots of things. Sometimes Saturn can make us feel more restricted in some way. There might be lots of obligations, and when Saturn is in first house, actually it affects you personally. It affects all of your actions, all of your plans and decisions. So the stationary period of Saturn, which is a few days around the shift in the direction, so a few days around the 5th of April, the energy is really intense. So you can feel in some way more suppressed, you can feel more restricted. Some things that you wanted to start may not turn, so easy as you have expected. So be prepared that if you plan starting something or doing something important, it may not be so easy. If it is possible, I would suggest that even you can postpone it a little bit. Just these few days around the stationary period of Saturn can be related with really lots of challenges, and life can put some kind of boundaries in front of you. And with Saturn, you just need to accept that and put a lot of efforts to overcome all of that. But basically this is an important transit because, as we said, Saturn is in your own sign, so it's affecting you personally. After that, on the 9th, we have the transit Mercury going retrograde in Taurus in your 6th house. So this can bring some kind of challenges in your work. As we said, Mercury in 6th house is affecting the area of your work, of your daily responsibilities, daily routines, your schedule. So for this phase of Mercury, the retrograde phase in 6th house, this can bring some kind of challenges. It might be difficult for you to organize this area. There might be some kind of misunderstandings. There might be a bad communication. Even some kind of technical problems in your work are possible, especially if you're working with all of that. But nowadays, most of us work with all kind of social medias, with all kind of technical devices. So be more careful, check everything, like networks, like as I said, devices, and everything which connects you with other people. Because there might be some kind of mistakes, some kind of problems, some kind of things that you need to repair. Avoid starting new negotiations with business partners. Avoid signing new contracts. If it is possible, avoid business trips during this retrograde phase, which is usually around 3 weeks, as always. So just avoid starting new things. I would definitely suggest you to avoid starting a new job while Mercury is retrograde in your 6th house. If it is an option that, for example, is related with the past or a job that you have been working on previously, then it can be a good transit for you to restart that, to go back to a place where you have previously worked, to connect with your colleagues that, for example, you haven't seen for a while. For all of these activities, actually, Mercury can be positive. And another thing which is positive for the retrograde Mercury in 6th house is that you can try to find your mistakes, to correct what you have, forgotten about, or you have, you didn't pay attention on that. Now you can try to fix these things related with your work. So fixing something which you have previously started actually can be positive during this transit. On the 11th, we have a full moon after that, which is which will fall in your 11th and 5th house. And this means that you need to find balance between these two areas of your life, 5th house and 11th house. So 5th house is related with your personal desires, with what you want to do personally for yourself. And 11th house is related with your social activities, what you want to do for society, what you need to do together with other people. So 11th house is the place where you are actually being a team player. So you need to find a balance between these two areas. It might be not so easy. For example, you may need to just focus more on your personal desires and in some way neglect your friends or neglect your social ideas, causes and goals for now. And some kind of also materialization is possible, so you can achieve something visible. For example, if you have some kind of creative project, or if you're an artist, then this full moon actually can be a culmination for you to achieve some kind of results in this area of your life. And finally, another conflict between these two houses is that 5th house is related with love and 11th house is related with friends and friendships. So there might be conflict between these two areas of your life. You may need to make decisions, to decide, well, I want to spend more time with my love partner, so that means I won't have so much time for my friends. Some kind of dilemmas like that are really possible because of the full moon. And finally, on the 14th of April, we have the transit Venus going back direct in Pisces in your 4th house. So generally this should bring an improvement in the area of your home, in the area of communication with your family, all kind of issues related with properties, with your home and the place where you are living. So generally there might be more harmony there, you can feel some kind of improvement. And previously Venus was retrograde in your 5th house, because most of the time Venus was retrograde in Aries. So there should be also, if there were some complications in the romantic area for you, now things should go back to normal. You shouldn't be so emotional, or there shouldn't be such ups and downs for you. So we can say that this should be a very positive time and very positive month for you. You can be really focused on the things that you like, that you love, and just have fun during this time. Thank you very much for listening, and see you around.